One of the recent skins in the recent Halloween 2024 update has actually got a lot of history behind it, dating all the way back to 2021. So we are talking about a skin that is about 3 and nearly 4 years in the work, kinda, sort of. So this is the Apocalypse military base made by John Drinkin. These are the meshes originally made for the level 3 and level 4 skin. Now at this time, I believe there was only one other, in fact up until last week, there was still only one other military base skin, that being the classic skin. And this would have been, I believe, the third one? There might have been one before that, I'm just trying to find it. No, okay, so it would have been posted afterwards, so that's fine. The level 3 and level 4 skins, you'll find are very, very similar to the Wasteland military base. Obviously, we'll get to that later. And then the level 3, level 4, and level 5 skins were released. Well, the level 5 units with their textures were released, and as you can see, very, very similar. And we got this as the level 5 glowy texture, but as you can see, very similar, you must say. Oh, this is from 2021. What took so long? Well, you need to actually delve into the history, because actually the variants of the Wasteland, well, Apocalypse skins were actually in the game, kind of. Oh, and the plane that is used as the bomber thing in the current Wasteland military base for the airstrike, I'm inclined to believe it's one of the models that was leaked a while ago. In fact, these skins look like, especially this one, it looks like they've already been added to the game. So with the Apocalypse military base skin, Railgun Tank, as it was called, was actually in the game, and you can see here that it's in the game. Well, sort of. It was actually, I believe, only added because of the trailer, of the Frost Invasion trailer, as this is the Frost Invasion trailer, as you can see. Tanks here, I do believe that they were only added for this because no other units were actually added from the Apocalypse military base lineup, only the Railgun Tank. And, as you can see, the Railgun tanks aren't actually Railgun tanks, they actually are just regular tanks. And that's why I've said all this time, tanks from the Apocalypse military skin were not added because the skin was added, they were just added for the trailer, because if they were actually added for use by people, this would not be like this. They would actually be coded correctly for the railgun tank, but they're only coded for the tank itself, not the railgun tank. Therefore, this is only for merely visual effects, because on trailers, it does not need to be accurate whatsoever, because things change from the trailer to the main game, and that's why I'm saying the Apocalypse military base skin, or the Apocalypse railgun tank, was only added to the game for this trailer, and this trailer alone, and the other units never existed in the game. At least until a week ago. Oh, and while you can see that they actually are slightly functional here, I do believe their functionality broke as the military base code got updated. Well, not updated, but sort of the tower codes, the underlying tower codes, changed throughout the history of Tower Defense Simulator from 2021 up until 2024, as one would expect, and the military base Apocalypse railgun tank was never included in those updates. So it sort of worked, I believe, like it would still technically attack, but it wouldn't have any of the animations that you see here. And the units here, because of the way that humanoids work in terms of units, they've gone from faceless to having a face. Here they do have a face. Then I believe their faces were removed, but then the new units in the game for the Wasteland military base skin were kind of re-added. If that makes sense. Well, not re-added. They're still faceless, but their models were updated. Oh, and yes, the infamous. I don't think I can say what it is, but yes, this is a farm skin that was planned to be added, but for reasons that I kind of know why it wasn't. With the military base tower, it was assumed that when the military base was updated or reworked on the 29th of March 2024, it was assumed that the Apocalypse military base skin might be added, because with redesigns and recodes, they make new skins easier to add. You'll see this in the Pursuit rework, for example. However, this was not the case. While the classic skin was updated, the Apocalypse military base skin, as it was still called at the time, speculatively, was not added, but it has now been added as the Wasteland military base skin. You may think why it took so long for its leak to be added into the game. That's because at the time there was a bit of disconnect between the design department of things and the actual development side of things. The only problem is, because everything's such a done to such a timeline, if things are disconnected, then it takes a long while for it to be added, as we see for like many examples of 2021 skins where they've still not been added. Like for the Pursuit skins that were leaked, they're not going to be added, at least until the Pursuit's reworked, because the code for the Pursuit is so outdated that it needs to be reworked. And that's the same for the military-based skin, the Apocalypse military-based skin. It needed so long, and also because design languages change over time, it needed to be completely, kind of not completely redesigned, but it needed a level of redesign to fit with the new military base code, but also it needed that new plane that was added for the airstrike. There were some rumors in 2023 that the Apocalypse military base skin might be re-added. Like Jace, I believe, in 2021 they were called Shermie, said the military base skin, someone asked the military skin from the Frost event trailer, when will that be added into the main game? And Jace said he doesn't really know. Yeah, he said, I'm not really sure why that skin isn't out. When someone asked, will TDS developers realise that making new skins won't bring new gameplay? He says, we know that, and we'll keep adding them anyway. So back in 2023, modelers, animators or whatever, they were creating content for the game, but because the development side of things was so slow, because there was very few amount of people doing it on that side of things, there were just skins that were being made that were just not being added, even though people were requesting it to be added. One of them being the Apocalypse military base skin. But now, in 2024, when the developers needed a Wasteland themed side of things, they have decided to revive the old Apocalypse military base skin and turn it into the Wasteland military base skin. And as you can see, the models are very similar. So back in the day, the humanoid would have been inside the truck for the level 3 Apocalypse military base truck or buggy, and now it's up here, and I do believe there's the operator's standing here on this. I'll call it a truck. It's a pickup truck, I believe. I call it a pickup truck. I have no idea what the Americans call it, but that is the remodel from the level 3, the Humvee 3 equivalent unit for this skin. And then we have the tank equivalent. I'm not sure if it's called the tank in the game. I actually haven't seen what the names are called for this unit, but this would have been the tank, as you can see by the long explosive turret. And this one's quite similar, as you can see. It's just this one's more colourful than this one, because the theme of the game has changed from very, very dark tones to slightly more brightful tones. And then finally, we have the two railgun tanks side by side. This one's clearly more of a railgun tank than this one, but this one I feel has more character to it, more personality, shall we say. And then we've never gotten this before, by the way. We've never seen what the Apocalypse military base tower would actually look like. And as you can see, the developers have gone full British. It's fuel. It's a fuel station, not a gas station, of course. Why would you fill up your car with gas? Vehicles don't run on gas. They run on liquids, or petroleum. But no, the developers have decided to go full American and say gas. Despite the units not having blacked out screens to indicate that there's no one inside, well, to not have a humanoid inside, that's not really possible with a pickup truck. And as you can see, it looks like it's being driven autonomously because there is no driver, but you can see the windscreens. So it does look a bit like an autonomous vehicle. Also, I realised there's a glitch with the military base Wasteland skin in that between level 1 and level 0 there's meant to be a upgrade for the toolbox, because the toolbox is an indicator of, I don't know, mechanics, the faster spawn rate, but it doesn't actually appear here on the level 1 skin, and it's kind of odd why not, because it appears on the level 2 skin, the toolbox here, but also so does the barrels. The barrels are meant to be the level 2 upgrade, but the toolbox is meant to be the level 1 upgrade, but it just doesn't appear. That's just kind of odd to me. Yeah, this is the plane model, and it looks like one of those old Ace Pilot skin leaks. Probably it's not. Probably there's been some changes. So that's the rich history, surprisingly, of a skin that's leaked in 2021, been speculated to be added for a while, then all of a sudden just remade, re-added, bam, with the Wasteland skin.